Hello, beautiful. Today we're going to do something a little different. Recently, our neighbor's wife passed away, and I inherited her sewing supplies. I'd like to show you what I got. I don't have a lot of information about what she had. I know that her mom was a seamstress. A lot of this was her mom's collection. I don't know much about Sue herself. I didn't get to know her very well before she passed. I'm really excited that I'm able to have her collection because her husband was very overwhelmed with sorting through their belongings, and it got to a point where he just started throwing things out, and he was about to throw all of this stuff out. So I'm really happy that I was able to save it from being in a landfill. So having said that, I'm going to show you Sue's collection, but first I would like to have a moment of silence for Sue. Sue passed away from lung cancer shortly after being diagnosed. So if you are a current smoker, or if you use tobacco products or smoke any kind of products, please consider quitting. Her husband is very lost without her. They really leaned on each other and took care of each other, and he's struggling without her. So if you don't want to quit for yourself, please consider quitting for people who rely on you. All right, now let's make this a little more lighthearted. I don't want to get too heavy. All right, so the first thing I want to show you is the collection of thread. A lot of this it's plastic wrapped. It's never been used, which is wild to me. And some of these places I've never even heard of, like Piece Good Shop, never heard of it. Now, a lot of this thread is very old. You can tell by the prices. I mean, 2 for $1. This was 5 for $1. Because I don't know really how old it is. I don't know how good it is. So I don't feel comfortable using it. Some of it I'll use for basting. I saw a video where someone took thread and turned it into beads, so I might do that. And I think some of these colors are really pretty, like this purple, the green, the red. Maybe I'll use the green and red for something Christmassy. There's a wood spool. I like that one. So I'm gonna keep the wood one. I think that's really neat. You don't see wood spools anymore. And where is it? Oh, here. This is styrofoam. I've never seen a styrofoam spool before. I think that's really neat. So anyway, yeah, there's a huge collection of thread. I don't know what I'm going to do with it all besides the beads. I can't use all of this for beads. So if anyone has any suggestions, I'd love to hear it. All right. And then I got some safety pins, and then this is something I'm really excited about. This is something I use not on a daily basis, but regularly. I got these pins. That's what was in these. I love these. They're so pretty. I love the colors. And I got this pin cushion. I've always wanted one of these. I know you can get them at Walmart, but I just couldn't bring myself to buy one. I don't know why. And now I know why, because I inherited Sue's. So anyway, yeah, I love it. I love the colors of the pins. They make me so happy. Also, does anyone, I don't know if anyone does this, maybe it's just me, but I have a silly rule when I'm using my pins that I cannot put two of the same pin colors next to each other. So if I was pinning this fabric, I could put down a red, I could put down a purple, then I could put down a green, but I cannot put down two reds next to each other. I can't do it. No, that's against the rules. I have to do that. Now, if I'm in a hurry, I'll break the rule. But for the most part, if I have time, which generally if I'm pinning something, I have the time, the two colors cannot go next to each other. Does anybody else do that? Just me? Right. Yeah, I love this. So happy I got it. All right, and then moving on to the other side. Also, if you like buttons, this is the video for you. I'm showing you all the non-button stuff first because there's a whole lot of buttons. We're gonna go button crazy. All right, so this is kind of a neat find. I don't like dolls. Dolls are creepy to me, but I thought this was kind of neat. It's a little sewing kit, and there's a tag. I'm not gonna try to pull it out, but there is a tag in there. This is actually made by Avon. I should have Googled this before I pulled it out, but I'm pretty sure this, judging by the style, this is probably from like the 90s. This looks very 90s, but I thought this was really neat. I don't know if this was geared towards children, but I thought that was really neat. I got some bias tape. I got these threaded needles. I thought this is so cool. I got some really nice vintage stuff, and I think I'm set on sewing needles for like the rest of my life. But I got these assorted sewing needles. There's a few missing, but that is okay. I love this. I think this is a great collection. And you know what? I always love the art from the 60s and earlier, that it always features women doing things. I'm sure if they made a similar product today, it would not feature just women. It would feature men, there would be children, there would be people of color. But I think it's so funny that any product made in the 60s or earlier features white women, suburban white women. Anyway, yes, I'm set on sewing needles for like the rest of my life. I got this little sewing kit, which don't know how good that thread is. And then I got a bunch of little trinkets. I got this measuring tape that I think is broken, but I don't know, I'm holding on to it. I got these little scissors, a seam ripper. There's actually quite a few seam rippers in here. One of these, a sweater and fabric comb, which I haven't seen one of these in years, but it gets the lint off of your sweaters. And then a chalk. I tried using it and it sheds. I don't know if that's normal, like it just flakes off. It still marks, but it flakes off. So I don't know if that's due to the age of it or if that's normal, because I've never used a product like that before. I'm not familiar with it. All right, another pair of nippers, another seam ripper, There's a lot of seam rippers. I got a sewing and knit gauge. I got like an X-Acto blade. I don't know what that was for, but I can use that. Some more little nippers. And then, and then this doohickey, which I can't remember the name of. Then I got some boning, never been opened. I have no idea if I'll use that, but I have boning. I don't know if this is a sign that I should get into making other things, but I got some belt buckles. So maybe I should make some belts. And then I got some hook and eye fasteners, and then some snaps. And I was so excited about these things. I got parts for purses. I mean, y'all know, if you watched my video on making the tulip purse, I do want to have more purses. And maybe this is a sign from the universe that I should be making some more purses. I got a bunch of D-rings. The one popped open. But yeah, got a whole bunch of D-rings. These cards were in there, and I thought they were really neat. These are the 12 Avenues of Bliss, and they are a set of cards made by Virginia Slims, yes, the cigarette company. Now, there were 12 cards. I'm missing number 1. I'd love to know where it is. I assume it was sent to someone. But basically, it's a set of cards that told women what virtues or how they should behave to get a man. I especially love the culture where women are told how to behave to get a man. Because my feeling on that is basically, fuck that. I can read them to you if you want. Hold on, let me find Avenue 1. The first avenue a woman travels on her way to bliss is the avenue of beauty. A gentleman desires beauty in a wife. A beautiful woman is not long for the unmarried life. The second avenue of bliss runs along the sea of perfect health. It is the rosy glow of perfect health that so distinguishes the married woman from the lonely spinster. The third avenue of bliss makes its merry way through hills of wit and humor. The gentle lilt of feminine laughter puts a gay warmth upon a man's heart. How it flatters a man to have his witticisms appreciated by a woman in a pleasant manner. The fourth avenue of bliss travels the meadows of cookery. A burned supper has ruined many a marriage, for a man regards a woman who can cook as he regards a fine timepiece. The fifth avenue of bliss traverses the cliffs of comfort. It's the pleasure of the womanly nature to provide comfort and solace to the dampened, manly spirit. The sixth avenue of bliss runs through the forest of musical ability. Talent in music magnifies the beauty and the qualities of every woman. The seventh avenue of bliss finds its way across the lowlands of clothing and dress. The manner in which a woman clothes herself can either exalt her or ruin her. The eighth avenue of bliss crosses the broad river of motherhood. The fulfillment of a woman's life and her greatest gift is to bear and care for children. The ninth avenue of bliss travels beneath the waterfalls of tolerance. If a woman is not suited to tolerate a man's reasonable indulgences, then she is suited for spinsterhood, where, indeed, she will spend her life. The 10th Avenue of Bliss rolls through the grasslands of pleasant conversation. A man wants to pass the evening hours in pleasant conversation with his wife. The 11th Avenue of Bliss makes its way across the mountains of vicelessness. Vice, as nothing else, spells ruins for a woman. The woman who is tempted by vice has opened the door of doom. Dun, dun, dun. The 12th Avenue of Bliss, and the final path you will take, is obedience. If you have traveled all the avenues save this final road, and he sees in you the wicked free spirit, you shall find yourself as you were when you began your journey, alone. I always find it interesting, all these rules and ways that women have to catch a man. If I have to do all of that and he's still not interested, he was never interested in the first place. Anyway, moving on. Now, I don't know if Sue or her mom organized all of this stuff, but it was so organized. And when I tell you, there were literal, like, buckets of buttons that I sorted through. Literal buckets. And they were all bagged. It was insane. Alright, so I got this JG Hook patch and buttons. I feel like it is not going to pick up on camera very well, but I don't know if the sparkle picks up, but these are individual beads that were sewn in. Yeah, I just think that's really pretty. Anyway, so I got real curious, and of course I had to look and see if this stuff was worth anything, because they had some stuff that was worth some money. And like I said, he got overwhelmed going through all of their stuff, and towards the end he just started literally throwing stuff in the trash. Okay, so JG Hook is a vintage American sportswear brand founded by Max Robb, apologies if I mispronounced that, in 1974, specializing in classic preppy clothing for women with a frequently nautical flair. Known for 1980s and 90s styles, popular items include wool blazers, leather coats, and plaid pieces. Okay, so there's your basic history on JG Hook. So yeah, the nautical theme is kind of on brand. Anyway, I thought this was really neat that she had a patch and the matching buttons. I don't know what plan she had for it, if any. She seemed to really have an interest in like military style buttons. That is not something that interests me, but I'm gonna hold on to them because clearly they meant something to her. So I got these, and I cannot figure out what that says no matter how much I zoom in on it. I've tried Googling every different spelling I can think of. So if anyone knows what that says, what it means, please let me know. Comment down below. I will have close-ups of all of the buttons. Not all of the buttons, but the really detailed ones like this at the end of the video. So you can screenshot if you want. And she had all of these military buttons. I swear I've seen these at like flea markets and places. I don't know why she has some. Oh, this one's different. Oh, okay. This one is different and I didn't notice. Okay, I don't know why it's lumped in with those. I'm gonna keep this one separate. I never noticed that before. All right, so this one is the majority of what's in the bag. Okay, so this is just the odd man out. And there appears to be writing on this one, and there is no way in heck I can read that. So, yeah, I will try to get a close-up of that one and see if I can make out any of that writing. All right, and we got this one. When I tell you, these were highly organized. I mean, there's small and large here, and they were stapled together. Like I said, I don't know if Sue or her mom did these. These are really hard to catch on camera because they're so reflective and shiny. So if this is not coming up well on camera, I'm so sorry. Let me grab one of the bigger ones. We have this one. And then these look very similar to the other ones, but the other ones I showed you are black and silver, and these ones are black and gold. And okay, so these are very interesting, and I wish I had more information on these, but they say the initials are AR. I don't know if that is the initials for a designer, a department store, someone really rich who could afford to have buttons made with their initials on them. So if anyone knows if you have any information about anything I've shown you, please let me know. I'd love to have more information about this collection. I think it's just really neat. There's also these red AR buttons. That sound, it's so nice. Oh, and then I got some like curtain pieces. Nothing fancy there. Okay. Are you ready for more buttons? Because that's what you're getting. You're getting more buttons. I hope you like buttons, because I'm going to show you more buttons. Alright, so clearly some of these are more modern. Well, I really like these. They're like pearl inspired, and they have a nice texture. I really like them. I don't know how well the texture gets picked up on camera. And then there's these smaller matching ones. And then of course, these standard big white buttons. I mean, you can't go wrong with a classic, right? Alright, so vintage buttons are your vibe. Buckle up, Buttercup, here we go. Alright, so we got these. I really like these. I'm gonna say that about 100 times. I really like these. They're a pretty color, they have a nice texture. those. And I love that some of these still have the price tags on them. Like this one from McCrory's. These were 7 cents. I mean, come on. And I'd never even heard of that store. I had to look it up. McCrory Stores was a prominent American five-and-dime chain founded by John G. McCrory in 1882 in Scottsdale, Pennsylvania. Known for affordable merchandise and lunch counters, it grew to over 1,300 stores before entering bankruptcy in 1992 and finally ceasing operations in February 2002. So apparently this store was around for over 100 years and I'd never even heard of it. But anyway, and I like these too. I don't know how well it picks up on camera. I think it picks it up pretty well. I just like that like two-tone, yeah. And then of course these are really pretty. Yellow is not my vibe, but there's just something about these. I think these would look really cute on, I don't know, a cardigan maybe? A scarf? I don't know. Standard white buttons, can't go wrong with that. And then these ones are curved and they have ridges on them. By the way, if ASMR bothers you, cool, me too. You'll never see that on my channel. If there's ASMR on my channel, it was unintentional, I assure you. Alright, and we have more purple buttons. Oh, got quite a few of these. More McCrory's for 7 cents. Got more of these curved textured buttons. These shiny purple buttons. And then I got these genuine pearl buttons. And then I got these. I really like those. I think that's so neat how they reflect the light. And then I got these clear blue ones made in Western Germany. I think that's so interesting. And then these were from a store called McClellan's and they were 4 cents. I don't know how well you can see that. It's pretty faded. So let's look up McClellan's. McClellan's was a chain of five-and-dime stores founded in 1917, grew to 200 stores by 1933. He lost control of the company during the Great Depression, and then the stores merged with McCrory in 1958. Okay, so I'm wondering if McCrory purchased McClellan's stock and then just never changed the tags. So someone bought this from McCrory's, or this is just something that's really old. I mean, the fact that it says made in Western Germany, when did they stop saying Western Germany? I'm not a history buff, by the way. Okay, so according to Google, reunifying with East Germany on October 3rd, 1990. So, pre-1990? That's not very helpful. We have these. I love that they put guaranteed washable, which makes me wonder what buttons used to be made of that they weren't washable. Yeah. So I really like these. Again, how they reflect the light. I think these are really pretty. They have that mint green. That is such a pretty color. I really like that. Standard white buttons. Oh, G.C. Murphy Company. Let's Google that. The G.C. Murphy Company was a prominent American five and dime variety chains store founded in 1906 in McKeesport, Pennsylvania by George Clinton Murphy. At its peak, it operated over 500 stores, including larger Murphy Mart discount stores, before being acquired by Ames department stores in 1985 and becoming defunct by 2002. Interesting. Never heard of it. I remember Ames. If you haven't figured it out yet, I'm a child of the 80s. I'm an 80s baby. And then there's this one lonely pink button. She looks so sad I couldn't leave her. Oh, what do we got? Oh, these purple ones. These are so pretty. And I love that they were marked down from 29 cents to 25 to 17 to 10. That nobody wanted these, that they were marked down to 1/3. I mean, these are so pretty. I have no idea what era these are from, but they're so pretty. I don't understand how nobody would buy these. And then you got your standard gray buttons. And then the one lonely heart button. And then got these. So, of course, can't go wrong. White buttons. I like these. They have a texture to them, and you can't feel those like bumps. There's like a dome here. I don't know how well that's going to show up on camera. So you cannot feel these bumps. It's just like a dome in the middle, and then it goes like a dinner plate, basically. A mini dinner plate. And then these I really like. Of course, I really like these. These are the ones I'm keeping. I am going to show you the ones I'm getting rid of. And then there's these, which I really like. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but they appear to be damaged. I don't know if it's water damage, but at certain angles you can see it. I'm trying to see in my viewfinder if it's showing up on camera, and I can't tell. So if you can't see it, I'm sorry, but trust me, it's there. I don't know if they got water damaged or what, which is a shame because they're really pretty. I think this one is like the only one that didn't get damaged. Or this one. So I'm not sure if I should paint over them or what. I don't know. What do you think? It's only visible if you look at them at a certain angle. I almost forgot. I also have these, which normally is not my vibe, but I'm kind of digging them. They remind me of my grandmother, my maternal grandmother. And then I also got this. I had to keep these. I don't know if I'll ever use them, but I thought they were really neat. I'm trying to sort out the bag here. Boutique trim. Decorate your own. Dresses, hats, blouses, gloves, etc. And I don't know how well you can see it through the plastic, but there are these little beads. I had to keep them for, like, I don't know if that's a dog or a unicorn, but the tropical bird, I really like that one. I think I just kept it mainly for that tropical bird. There's a duck with like a funny hat. All right, so now we are moving into the items I'm getting rid of. which was really hard to narrow down. I'm a borderline hoarder. I come from a family of hoarders. I shouldn't say that. My dad is a hoarder, so. All right. So, googly eyes. I really debated on keeping these, but I really have no use for them. You would think googly eyes would be a pretty standard item, but I really can't think of any moment where I would need them. A bag of assorted green buttons. And then some standard gray buttons, some brown buttons, some more brown buttons that kind of look like, they remind me of coffee beans. Some gray buttons, some, I don't know, yellowish, tannish buttons. Some more brown buttons, assorted ones. Some black buttons that look very like 80s to me. These pink buttons with gold. They remind me of a mermaid with the fish scales. Some more black buttons. They look very 80s to me. Some olive green and gold buttons. Oh, and I appreciate that they were so organized. Some matching brown buttons in large, medium, and small. Some more brown buttons. Looks like large and medium. Some more. These gray? No. So these look brown, and then these look black. Some more black 80s-esque buttons. Some standard black buttons. Some more assorted brown buttons. Some, I guess, taupe and gold. Taupe and gold buttons. Black, standard black. 80s vibe, black buttons. Some grayish buttons. Some dark green buttons. Some like really, really dark blue, almost black buttons. They have like a diamond pattern on them. Some gold buttons. Go through that in a moment. Oh, and then down at the bottom, there's some loose buttons with anchor embossing on them. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. We got some gold buttons with like an elephant skin texture on them. So there are these black buttons. And I have these black buttons with rhinestones, which you would think would be right up my alley, right? But there's just something about these that is not my vibe. I'm not feeling them. And you guys know how much I love sparkly things, but I'm just not feeling those. I got these little roses that I'm actually gonna try to put on the top so they don't get smushed. I think they're already a little smushed. And then in here, I got some appliques and then this iron-on applique. So I've noticed there's a lot of military theme, which makes me wonder if someone in their family was in the military. So yeah, this is all the stuff that I'm getting rid of. I don't see myself using it. I'm just going to donate it to my local thrift store. Thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and of course, stay crafty.